you ever felt like you had no control of your life, no matter how hard you worked? This is my friend Orville. When Orville was 60 years old, he was at the pinnacle of academia. He had written over 200 research articles, was awarded Professor of the Year by his college, and was regarded by his colleagues as an esteemed tenured professor. All of this until he endured 3 strokes on the right side of his brain. And just like that, everything was gone. He was unconscious and paralyzed for almost 4 months. He couldn't remember how to eat, walk, speak, or even use the restroom. Society now deemed Orville as an old man, an ex-professor, a stroke victim. These stigmas pushed Orville into a downward spiral of severe depression, low self-esteem, loss of identity, and ultimately stagnated medical progress. Now, what if I told you that Orville currently performs ballet for live audiences? He dances across the stage with ease, and he's generally really happy with his life. Ballet, when introduced into the context of medicine, can optimize physical, mental, and emotional healing. Within my first 6 weeks as a dance student in college, I sustained a brain injury in one of my classes. I was turning out of a leap as fast as I could, and when my feet reached the ground, my heel slipped from under me, and I fell onto the base of my skull and lost consciousness. My classmates' recount of the event is hearing 2 hard surfaces slam together and watching my eyes roll back in my head as I lay frozen in the center of the room. I was sent to the hospital where I was diagnosed with head and neck injuries, and that was the day that my life changed. It took about 3 months of persistent illness before I was properly diagnosed with something called post-concussion syndrome. This is a disorder where the immediate and acute symptoms of a concussion, which usually last about 2 to 3 weeks, end up lasting anywhere from months to years. And for me, this meant almost 2 full years of experiencing memory loss, extreme dizziness and vertigo, sensitivity to light and sound, learning deficits, depression, and decreased quality of movement on a daily basis. After a full year of experiencing these symptoms, I began to feel alienated in my field. I was at a point in my life where I felt emotionally vulnerable and let individuals in positions of authority make me feel like I needed to change career paths. I realize now, however, that this philosophy that injured bodies are somehow useless bodies is totally outdated and unforgiving. I went to a variety of specialists before finally finding something that worked for me. A doctor referred me to a neurophysical therapist who translated physical therapy concepts into ballet terminology so that my work in the clinic could be relevant to my academic goals as a dance student. He was most familiar with the technical academic terms in ballet, such as that one twirly spin, the one where you bend both knees, and keep on jumping from here to there until I tell you to stop. Although the vocabulary was relatively basic, it did offer me an extremely creative approach to my treatment plan, which I really hadn't witnessed before. I was artistically engaged and therefore extremely motivated, willing to practice at home, and constantly wanting to come back for more. Within 9 months of this style of treatment, I was able to dance at full capacity again, which I never thought I'd be able to do. Thank you. Thank you. I was so thrilled by the discovery of the healing potential of basic ballet principles that I founded Healing in Motion Dance. This is an arts and medicine initiative that teaches rehabilitative ballet to participants with neurological disorders that impair motor function, such as multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, stroke, and traumatic brain injury like the one I had had. Collegiate dance students and physical therapy students work together to generate movement curriculum and material that is both artistically and medically beneficial for patients. We do this by introducing a mutually understood structure called Ballet Barre. For those of you who have taken ballet, you may be familiar with this. For those of you who haven't, Ballet Barre is a series of exercises that warm up the body in a very specific order. So traditionally, you'll see larger muscle groups be warmed up through movements called pliés, which look like this, and then work your way to more fine motor movements such as tendus and frappés. What's particularly special about Ballet Barre is that the exercises in the series actually overlap with the exercises already prescribed for these populations. A plie, for example, is essentially a complicated but organized squat. And squats are already prescribed for patients, are typically prescribed for patients who have endured one or more strokes to make sure that they keep their knees aligned as they walk and they don't turn in on that affected side, that they rotate out in their hips and protect their knee joints. Another prime example of this is in the rondejambe or a circle of the leg combination. So, in a ballet class, you might see point A, point B, and point C outlined in the floor. We repeat this pattern and connect the dots, and it repeats a circle. Now, while this may just look like another dance move that sounds like another Starbucks drink, it actually is extremely beneficial because it taps into a neurological physical therapy concept called proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Try saying that 10 times fast. Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, or PNF, is excellent for populations such as these because it encourages increased range of motion, and this is great especially if they're encountering stiffness or difficulty with mobility in their joints. But perhaps the most powerful tool of this class is inclusivity. The road to recovery following a life-altering diagnosis can be an extremely lonely path. Unlike the traditional physical therapy routine where the exercises are executed alone, the classroom environment heightens the sense of community and the knowledge that we are in this together. This is a photo from our most recent Swan Lake performance. They're holding hands because they're the little swans. Once participants know that they can overcome physical hurdles in the classroom, they develop the confidence to try other challenging physical tasks outside of the classroom. So this might look like going on a walk with their grandkid for a mile or two, or finally signing up for that local fitness class, or engaging in a challenging outdoor activity that they really haven't tried since their diagnosis. Time and time again, I hear participants say, "I never thought that after surviving a stroke at 75 years old, I would be starting ballet." And I love hearing that because what they're saying is, well, if I can do ballet at this point in my life, then what else can I do? Even if ballet sometimes looks unattainable, it can actually benefit just about anyone regardless of age, race, gender, or ability. Perhaps there's something in your life that you've been wanting to try, but something about what society tells you is holding you back. If this is the case, then I sincerely implore you to challenge yourself and follow that thread of impulse and try that thing because for all you know, it could change your life for the better. Ballet gives me something to live for, Orville says. I put on my ballet shoes and suddenly I'm part of the gang. Now let me tell you, the first day I offered a ballet class in Orville's local clinic, he did not want to come in. He passionately resisted, and he told me it was because he thought that ballet could only be enjoyed by young, slim, fit women who could reach their foot to their face. And there's nothing wrong with that. I fall into that population. But now, Orville is ballet's biggest advocate because he knows what it can do for his health and his happiness. Today, when Orville looks into the mirror at the bar, he says he sees a survivor, a fighter, a mature dancer. Now that he has developed the confidence that his body will not let him fall when he walks across the room, he knows that he can go for engaging in his life more fully in a physical way that he's been wanting to. For example, today he walks 8 to 9 miles a week, is able to ride a street bike unassisted, and is even able to travel across the world hiking. Here's a photo of him hiking uneven terrain in the Middle East this spring. None of this would have been possible without ballet, he says. We do this by taking what many people in society have historically regarded as an exclusive movement form and adapting it such that it is available to a wide variety of people of a wide variety of abilities to contribute to it. This is a testament to the current inclusive nature and potential of ballet today. This communal ballet practice powerfully demonstrates that if you have a diagnosis that impairs your movement, this is not the end of a life in motion. Thank you.